She said, at her birthday, "I wish I'd never met you. My life would be perfect." So I made her wish come true. Erased myself so completely. She thought she'd imagined our whole relationship. Now she's begging me to come back. Hey Reddit, my girlfriend told me at her birthday party that she wished she'd never met me, in front of everyone. So I decided to grant her wish. What followed was the most methodical erasure of a relationship I've ever witnessed. By the time I was done, even she wasn't sure we'd actually dated. Here's how it went down. I, 28 male, own my condo downtown. Been grinding since college. Started as a junior dev making 55K, now pulling 160K plus equity. I'm the stereotypical tech guy. Mechanical keyboard collection, 3 monitors, gaming setup that cost more than most people's cars. My apartment looks like a Best Buy showroom, crossed with a minimalist bachelor pad. Clean lines, expensive tech, zero unnecessary decoration. The keyboard collection alone is worth about $8,000. Started with a basic Corsair, graduated to custom builds with Zelio switches, hand-lubed stabilizers, and keycap sets that cost more than some people's monthly rent. I've got 12 boards now, each one precisely configured for different tasks. Gaming rig with linear reds, coding setup with tactile browns, a vintage IBM Model M that sounds like a machine gun when you type. My friends think it's excessive. I think it's perfect. Met Vanessa, 26 female, about 2 years ago through a hiking meetup group. She was stunning. The kind of woman who photographs well and knows it. Marketing manager at a startup, always impeccably dressed, maintained a lifestyle Instagram with 40,000 followers. Her whole brand was living my best life. Brunches, boutique fitness classes, travel content. Every photo was carefully curated. Every caption workshop tested for maximum engagement. I was immediately into her. She seemed interested in my work, asked smart questions about coding, laughed at my terrible programmer jokes. Our first date was at this upscale Italian place she suggested, Il Bracco downtown, where the cheapest pasta is $38 and they pair your water. The bill was $380 for 2 people. I paid without blinking because I could afford it, and she seemed worth it. She'd ordered the branzino with truffle risotto, a bottle of Barolo that cost more than my first car payment, and an espresso martini for dessert. Spent most of dinner positioning her phone for the perfect overhead shot of her plate. The food got cold while she adjusted the lighting. I didn't mind then. I thought she was just passionate about her aesthetic. That should have been my first warning sign. The relationship moved fast. Within 3 months, she was staying at my place most nights. Not officially moved in, she kept her apartment across town for space and independence, but her stuff gradually colonized my minimalist sanctuary. Expensive face serums crowding my bathroom counter. Designer clothes taking over 2/3 of my closet. Her oat milk taking up half my fridge. My place transformed from a clean bachelor pad into something that looked like a Sephora exploded in a West Elm catalog. She'd leave hair ties everywhere. On my desk, tangled in my keyboard cables, wrapped around my mouse. Found one inside my desktop PC once. No idea how it got there. Her makeup products multiplied like rabbits, spreading from the bathroom to the bedroom to the living room. I'd find false eyelashes stuck to my monitor, lipstick tubes in my gaming chair's cup holder, nail polish remover that ate through the finish on my coffee table. I didn't mind at first. Having her around felt good. She'd work from my place sometimes, taking over my dining table with her laptop and ring light for content creation sessions. I liked the company. Plus, the sex was great, and she made my place feel less lonely. My apartment had always been functional but cold. Somewhere to sleep and work, nothing more. She added life to it, even if that life came with a lot of clutter. But there were patterns I noticed. Patterns I ignored because, honestly, she was way out of my league looks-wise, and I didn't want to rock the boat. She never paid for dates. Ever. Not once in 2 years. When the check came, she'd get intensely focused on her phone or excuse herself to the bathroom. I covered rent and utilities since she stayed over so much. Her contribution? Occasionally buying groceries, which she'd later mention repeatedly as proof she pulled her weight. Those groceries were usually organic produce that would rot in my fridge while she ordered Postmates. Then she'd blame me for wasting food. Her Instagram was a constant production. Every date, every meal, every moment had to be documented and posted. She'd make me retake photos 20 times to get the right aesthetic. We once spent 45 minutes at a restaurant getting the perfect shot of her holding a cocktail while the ice melted and the drink became undrinkable. The captions were always about her treating myself, self-care Sunday, living my truth. I was usually cropped out or relegated to my favorite human with no tag. Never my name, Never my face clearly visible, just a blurred hand or shoulder in the background of her narrative. One time, I asked why she never tagged me. My followers connect with my authentic journey as an individual, she explained, not looking up from her phone. Including too much couple content dilutes my brand message. Her brand message apparently was more important than acknowledging my existence. My best friend Nathan saw through her immediately. He's been my roommate since college, now lives 2 buildings over, works in cybersecurity. The first time he met Vanessa, she barely acknowledged him. Too busy staging photos of her brunch, rearranging the table settings, asking the waiter to bring better lighting, like restaurants keep spare sunlight in the back. Later, he said, "Dude, she's using you as a bank account with a pulse." "She's not that bad," I defended. "She's just ambitious and knows what she wants." "Yeah, your money." He pulled out his phone, showed me her Instagram. "Look at this caption. Sunday brunch with my favorite person." She tagged the restaurant, the mimosa brand, her nail salon, and the boutique where she bought her outfit. "But not you. You're not even worth a tag, bro." I laughed it off. Nathan has trust issues from his own bad relationships. His ex-girlfriend maxed out his credit cards, buying crypto during the 2021 bull run, then left him when it crashed. I figured he was just being overprotective, seeing red flags everywhere because of his own trauma. But the cracks kept showing. She'd get irritated when I wanted to spend weekends gaming with the guys, called my mechanical keyboard hobby pointless collecting, and suggested I invest that money in experiences we could share, by which she meant expensive trips she'd photograph for content. Made fun of my casual dress style, constantly suggesting I upgrade my look by buying expensive clothes I'd never wear. She wanted me in designer streetwear for her Instagram aesthetic, but I'm a software engineer who works from home. I live in hoodies and joggers. That's not changing. The worst was how she treated service staff, snapping fingers at waiters, sending food back for imaginary problems, leaving bad reviews if she didn't get exactly what she wanted. One time, she berated a barista to tears over foam texture. The girl couldn't have been more than 19, working her way through community college, and Vanessa made her cry over microfoam. I apologized and tipped extra after she left. "That's just how you get good service," she said when I brought it up. "You have to train people to respect you. They'll walk all over you if you're too nice." She said this while typing a 1-star Yelp review, describing the barista as incompetent and unprofessional. The review got the girl written up by her manager. Looking back, I was the one being trained. Trained to pay for everything. Trained to shut up about her behavior. Trained to be a prop in her content, rather than an actual partner. Her birthday was March 15th. She'd been planning this party for weeks, rented out a rooftop bar downtown called Sky Lounge, invited about 50 people, hired a photographer for candid shots that would really be carefully staged content. She'd created a Pinterest board with 17 different vibe inspiration images, had a shot list for the photographer that was 3 pages long, selected a signature cocktail that matched her outfit color scheme. This wasn't a birthday party, it was a content shoot with witnesses. I was handling the finances, obviously. The venue deposit was $2,500. Bar tab minimum was $3,000. The custom cake she wanted was another $400 from some Instagram famous baker. 3 tiers, covered in edible gold leaf, topped with fresh flowers that cost extra, plus her actual gifts. A new MacBook Pro she'd been hinting about, $2,800. And this designer handbag she'd shown me repeatedly, always casually leaving the website open on my laptop, $1,600. A Gucci Marmot in dusty pink because everyone has black bags, I need to stand out. Total damage, over $10,000 for one night. But it was her birthday, and I loved her, so I made it happen. Transferred the money from savings without hesitation, even though it represented 2 months of aggressive investing I'd been doing to hit my financial independence goals by 35. The party started at 7 p.m. I showed up early to help set up, but Vanessa was already in full hostess mode with her inner circle. She barely acknowledged me beyond a quick air kiss that was really just posing for the photographer she'd stationed at the entrance. "Get that moment," she instructed him. The arrival energy is everything. The night progressed. Open bar flowing, Instagram stories multiplying, Vanessa holding court in the center of everything. I mostly hung back with Nathan, who'd come for moral support and free drinks. We stood near the railing, watching the Austin skyline while Vanessa's friends demolished top-shelf liquor like it was their job. "This is costing you how much?" he asked, watching Vanessa's sorority sisters order another round of patron shots. "Don't worry about it. I'm worrying anyway. That's like, what, a third of your annual investing budget? It's her birthday. It's her content opportunity. Look, he nodded toward Vanessa, who was posing with different friend groups, cycling through them systematically while the photographer captured each combination. She's literally treating this like a professional photo shoot? When's the last time she actually just enjoyed something without documenting it? I couldn't remember. Every moment with her was mediated through a screen, processed through filters, captioned for maximum engagement. Around 10 p.m., Vanessa gathered everyone for her birthday speech. She stood on a chair. Very Instagram. Very spontaneous moment that she'd clearly planned. With a champagne glass, her closest friends circled around her like disciples, photographer capturing every angle. She'd changed outfits twice already. This was the third look of the night, a slinky gold dress that caught the city lights perfectly. She started thanking people. Her sorority sisters for always supporting her authentic self. Her coworkers for believing in her vision. Her followers for being part of her journey. Each thank you was a carefully crafted sentence that would look good in the photo captions later. I waited for my mention, figured she'd at least acknowledge the guy who made this whole party financially possible. The guy who'd been with her for 2 years, who'd supported her dreams, who'd let her colonize his space and his life. Instead, she said, "And honestly, I just want to take a moment to be real with you all." Everyone leaned in. This was going to be some inspirational content, the kind her followers ate up. Sometimes I look at my life and wonder what it would be like if I'd made different choices. If I'd never met certain people who held me back from my potential. My stomach dropped. Nathan's hand gripped my arm. "Don't react," he whispered. "And I just want to say," she paused for dramatic effect, the photographer circling to get different angles. "I wish I'd never met some of you." Nervous laughter rippled through the crowd. Was this a joke? Just kidding. But seriously, I wish I'd trusted my instincts more. I wish I'd never met. She looked directly at me. Our eyes locked across the rooftop. Everyone followed her gaze. 50 people turning to stare at the guy standing awkwardly by the railing. Certain people who dragged down my vibe. My life would literally be perfect right now if I could erase some mistakes. If I could go back and choose differently, choose better, choose someone who actually added value instead of just existing in my space. The room went dead silent. You could hear the traffic below, the hum of the AC units. Everyone followed her gaze to me. A few people looked confused, like they couldn't believe what they were hearing. Her closest friends, the ones who knew exactly who she meant, who'd probably encouraged this moment, smirked into their drinks, delighted by the drama. Someone's phone camera was pointed at me, recording my reaction for the inevitable TikTok. Another girl was texting furiously, probably updating the group chat. This was content gold. Public humiliation at a rooftop party. Nathan grabbed my arm harder. "Don't. Do. Anything." I wasn't angry. I was weirdly calm. That cold clarity that hits when your brain finally accepts what your gut's been screaming for months. Like when you're debugging code and suddenly the pattern becomes obvious. All those little errors you'd been ignoring snap into focus as symptoms of a fundamental architectural problem. I pulled out my phone and opened Venmo. Right there, in front of everyone, I requested $10,000 from her. Put it in the description. Birthday party expenses. Venue, bar tab, cake, gifts. Per your wish to erase mistakes. Her phone buzzed loudly in the silence. She looked down, face going from smug to confused to horrified in 3 seconds as she read the Venmo request. "What are you doing?" she hissed, trying to keep her voice low but everyone could hear in the quiet. "Granting your wish," I said clearly, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You wanted to erase me from your life? Consider it done." Starting with the $10,000 I spent on this party, gasps. Someone said, "Oh shit," loudly. The photographer, God bless him, was still taking pictures, capturing every moment of Vanessa's carefully curated evening falling apart. I walked out. Didn't grab my jacket, didn't say goodbye to anyone. Just left her standing there on that chair with everyone watching, her perfect Instagram moment transformed into a public disaster. Let her explain that to her followers. Nathan caught up with me at the elevator. "Holy shit, dude. You good?" "I'm great. I'm about to make her wish come true." "What does that mean?" "You'll see. Just promise me one thing. Anything. When she asks about me, about us dating, tell her you don't know what she's talking about." Nathan's eyes widened. "You're going to gaslight her? I'm going to grant her wish so completely, she'll question her own memory." The elevator doors opened. We stepped inside. As they closed, I could hear the party exploding into chaos behind us. Loud voices, Vanessa yelling, her friends probably updating their group chats with the most dramatic content of the year. On the ride down, my phone started buzzing. Texts from Vanessa. Get back here right now. You're embarrassing me. Everyone is asking what's going on. This is my night you're ruining. How dare you make this about you? I blocked her number and put my phone in my pocket. You know what the beautiful thing is? I said to Nathan as we walked out into the Austin night. What's that? She gave me permission. In front of 50 witnesses, she said she wished she'd never met me. She wished she could erase me from her life. I'm just respecting her clearly stated wishes. Nathan started laughing. You're diabolical. I'm kind of proud. The next morning, I woke up with absolute clarity and zero hangover. I'd only had one drink before leaving. Vanessa had made her wish publicly. I was going to grant it so thoroughly, she'd question her own reality. First stop, my computer. I'm a software engineer who specializes in database management and systems architecture. I know digital footprints better than most people understand their own handwriting. Time to erase mine from her life with surgical precision. Started with social media. Went through every photo she'd posted of us together on Instagram. There were 127 posts over 2 years. Every date, every vacation, every spontaneous moment that had actually taken 37 tries to capture. I didn't delete my comments. That would be too obvious. Instead, I did something more elegant. I changed my profile name to deleted account 47,392 and my photo to a gray default icon. Then I went through every single comment I'd ever made and edited them to random strings of numbers, 839-47392, or deleted user 92847, or comment removed 58392. The effect was perfect. It looked like she'd been posting couple content with a deleted account for 2 years, like she'd been dating a ghost who'd vanished from the internet, leaving only placeholder text where a real person used to be. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, same treatment. 2 years of digital relationship history now looked like she'd been dating someone who never existed. Every tagged photo showed deleted account. Every shared memory showed user not found. I was systematically transforming myself into a digital phantom. I even went through old shared Google Photos albums and removed my face from every picture using content-aware fill in Photoshop. Took about 6 hours, but the results were worth it. Every couple photo now showed her alone at restaurants, alone at the Grand Canyon, alone at the beach. Like she'd been traveling solo all along, but holding her arm out awkwardly for no reason. Next, mutual friends. This required finesse. I called Nathan first. I need you to do something weird, and I need you to trust me. Always, brother. What's up? If Vanessa or any of her friends ask about me and her dating, tell them we never did. Tell them you've only known me as single. Act confused if they push. Silence. Then, you're really doing this. You're actually gaslighting her. I'm not gaslighting anyone. I'm simply granting her wish. She said she wanted to erase me from her life. She said she wished she'd never met me. I'm helping her achieve that goal. Everyone's just going to remember what she wished for. This is diabolical, and I'm so in. What exactly should I say? Just act confused, like you've never seen us together. You've only known me as single. You met her once at some party but don't really know her. You think maybe she has me confused with someone else. I called my other close friends, the ones who'd met her at various events over 2 years. My co-workers who'd seen her at company happy hours. My neighbor who'd seen her coming and going countless times. Even my doorman who'd let her up regularly for months. If anyone asks, Vanessa and I never dated. You've never seen her. You don't know who she is. If they show you photos, just say you're not sure who that person is. Maybe I brought different dates to different events. Act confused. Most people were confused by the request, but agreed once I explained what happened at the party. A few asked questions. I explained the "I wish I'd never met you" speech, the public humiliation, the way she'd treated me like a wallet with legs for 2 years. Everyone got on board fast. My coworker James was particularly enthusiastic. Thank God, dude. We were all wondering when you'd realize she was using you. She once cornered me at the Christmas party and spent 20 minutes explaining her content strategy while you were getting drinks. Never asked me a single question about myself. Just talked about her follower engagement rates. I'll happily pretend I never met her. This is going to be legendary. Sarah from accounting. Finally! That girl was awful. She made our intern cry once by criticizing her outfit. In our workplace, I thought you deserved better. I'm team gaslight 100%. Even my doorman Carlos was in. She was always rude, man. Never said thank you. Treated me like furniture. I'll tell her I've never seen her before. Easy. Then came the physical evidence. Every gift she'd given me over 2 years. Not many, maybe $300 worth total. A Patagonia jacket for Christmas that I'd picked out and paid for half of. A fancy cutting board that I'd hinted about repeatedly. Some books that she'd grabbed at the airport between flights. Every photo print she'd insisted on hanging. Every trace of her in my condo. I boxed it all up methodically, labeled the box donations, and dropped it at a Goodwill across town. Changed my locks. Not because she had a key. She didn't. I'd learned that lesson from Nathan's experience. But for symbolic completion. New locks, new code, new chapter. Hired a locksmith who showed up within 2 hours, installed a smart lock system, gave me a fresh start. Blocked her on everything. Phone, social media, Venmo, email, LinkedIn, even professional networks. Complete digital severance. Every platform, every point of contact systematically shut down. I even blocked her on GitHub after remembering she'd starred one of my repositories once. Then the coup de grace. I called Sky Lounge, the venue. Explained there was a dispute about charges, that the birthday girl was claiming I'd promised to cover costs, but we'd never actually dated. It was all a misunderstanding. The manager was confused. Sir, we have Miss Chen's signature on the contract. She booked the event. Exactly. I'm not her boyfriend. Never have been. She told her friends I'd pay for everything, but we don't have that kind of relationship. We've actually never even dated. I think there's some confusion about who I am. Sent them screenshots of her birthday speech video. Someone had already posted it to Instagram stories, and I'd saved it. As you can see, she's publicly stating she wishes she'd never met me. Pretty clear she doesn't want me involved, right? Please send the bill directly to her since she's the one who booked everything. The manager was silent for a moment. So, you're saying you're not responsible for the charges? I'm saying I don't know this woman well enough to pay for her party. That would be weird, right? Why would I pay for a stranger's birthday party? I see. We'll need to follow up with Miss Chen directly then. Perfect. 48 hours after her birthday party, Vanessa had ceased to exist in my life. But more importantly, evidence of our relationship had been systematically dismantled. Digital traces deleted, witnesses briefed, physical evidence removed. I'd transformed 2 years of relationship history into something that looked like a delusion. The texts started 3 days after the party, from different numbers since I'd blocked her original. Can we talk about what happened? I was drunk and emotional. I didn't mean it like that. You can't seriously be this mad over a dumb speech. People are asking questions and I can't explain what you did. Please just respond. This is childish. I didn't respond. I'd blocked her number, but she was using different phones, probably borrowing from friends. Each new number got blocked immediately. She was going through contacts like a telemarketer on commission. After a week of silence, she showed up at my building. I watched it happen on my phone. The smart doorbell I'd installed sent an alert and started recording. The doorman Carlos looked at her blankly when she asked for me. Who? Ethan. Ethan Morrison. Unit 804. Ma'am, I don't give out resident information to people I don't know. You do know me. I'm his girlfriend. I'm here all the time. You've let me up hundreds of times. He checked his logbook with exaggerated care, making a show of flipping through pages. I don't have any records of you visiting. And Mr. Morrison's never mentioned a girlfriend. She pulled out her phone, probably to show photos. Her hand was shaking as she scrolled, then froze. Every photo now showed her with deleted account. Every tagged post showed user not found. This doesn't make sense, she said, voice rising. You've let me up dozens of times. I've brought you coffee. We've talked about your daughter's quinceañera. Carlos just looked at her sympathetically, like she was a confused tourist who'd wandered into the wrong building. I think you have the wrong building, ma'am. Maybe your boyfriend lives somewhere else? No! This is the right building. 4th floor. Unit 804. He has 3 monitors and a keyboard collection and a gaming chair and... Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave if you can't calm down. I watched this exchange on my phone from my couch, eating cereal. The confusion on her face was perfect. Carlos deserved a Christmas bonus for this performance. She left, but I could see her through the lobby windows, sitting on the bench outside, frantically scrolling through her phone, trying to find evidence I existed. The next attempt came through mutual friends. She started calling people, asking what was wrong with me, why I was being crazy, demanding they talk sense into me. Nathan played his part beautifully. I heard about the conversation later. Nathan? It's Vanessa. I need you to talk to Ethan. Vanessa? Oh yeah, I met you at some party. The birthday thing, right? That was wild. Yes. You need to tell Ethan to stop being insane. Tell who? Ethan. Your best friend. He's ignoring me and acting like we never dated. Long pause. Vanessa, I think you might be confused. Ethan doesn't really date. He's pretty focused on work and his hobbies. Are you sure you're thinking of the right guy? What are you talking about? You've met me dozens of times. I've been to your apartment. We've had dinner together. I think you might have me confused with someone else. I met you once at a party. That's it. And I'm pretty sure Ethan was single. He's been single as long as I've known him. This is insane. Stop lying. I'm not lying. I just genuinely don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you should reach out to whoever you actually dated. I think there's some confusion happening here. She hung up on him. Nathan texted me immediately. Dude, she sounds like she's losing it. This is working too well. You sure about this? I'm not doing anything. Just respecting her stated wishes. Vanessa tried my coworkers next. Same response from everyone. Ethan doesn't really date. He's been single for years. Are you sure you have the right person? Maybe you're thinking of someone else from your past? Even Sarah from accounting delivered. You're thinking of our Ethan? Tall guy, glasses, always wears hoodies? No, he's definitely single. I would know. We eat lunch together sometimes. He never mentions anyone. My neighbor who'd seen her coming and going for months. The guy in 804? No, I've only ever seen him alone. Never with a girlfriend. Sometimes with his friend Nathan, but that's it. Are you sure you have the right apartment? Vanessa started second-guessing herself. I know because her Instagram went private and she posted a story. Has anyone else ever felt like they imagined an entire relationship? Like maybe your brain created memories that weren't real? Asking for a friend. The venue bill arrived at her apartment. $5,500 for the party, now that my portion was removed from the automatic payment. She called them, and I heard about it later through Carlos, who heard from building gossip. She'd called Sky Lounge screaming about how her boyfriend had paid for everything, how this was all a mistake, how they needed to charge me. The manager was very polite. Ma'am, we have your signature on the contract as the sole party responsible. The gentleman you mentioned actually called us and explained there was some confusion. He confirmed he's not your boyfriend and doesn't know you well. We have that conversation recorded for quality assurance. Would you like to discuss a payment plan for the outstanding balance? That's insane! We dated for 2 years. Ask anyone. Ma'am, we can only go by the contractual obligation, which is your signature. If you're unable to pay the full amount, we can set up installments. This is illegal! I'm going to sue! That's your right, ma'am. The charges stand. 2 weeks in, she was spiraling. Her Instagram stories became increasingly unhinged. Does anyone else feel like they're living in a simulation where memories aren't real? What if the past 2 years were just a really vivid dream? I swear I had a boyfriend last month, but now I can't prove it, and everyone acts confused when I mention him. Is gaslighting a crime? Asking for legal advice. My therapist says trauma can create false memories, but I know it was real. Her follower count started dropping, from 40,000 to 35,000 to 32,000. People follow Instagram lifestyle influencers for aspirational content, not existential crises and paranoid rants. Her engagement plummeted. Brands that had given her free products stopped reaching out. Her carefully curated aesthetic was crumbling into mental health crisis content. Nathan sent me updates regularly. Dude, this is working almost too well. She cornered me at Whole Foods yesterday, showing me her phone. All your comments on her posts are just random numbers now. She's convinced her account got hacked. I told her to contact Instagram support. She started crying in the organic produce section. Did you stay in character? Obviously. Looked very concerned, very helpful, very confused about who she was talking about. She kept saying, you know Ethan, your best friend, and I just kept going, I know an Ethan from work, but he's married with kids. Really sold it. That's beautiful. She's losing it, man. Like genuinely losing it. Part of me feels bad. Don't. She did this to herself. I'm just respecting her wishes. The masterpiece came 3 weeks after the party. Vanessa showed up at my workplace, the actual office downtown where I go maybe once a month for meetings. I work remote, but our company has a fancy downtown office with a full reception area. She must have found the address somehow, maybe through my LinkedIn, which I'd forgotten to update. Walked right up to reception looking like she'd been up for 3 days. I need to speak with Ethan Morrison. It's urgent. The receptionist, Jade, who I'd briefed via email the week before, checked her computer with professional detachment. Do you have an appointment? I'm his girlfriend. I'm sorry, but Mr. Morrison's calendar doesn't show any personal visits today. What company are you with? I'm not with a company. I'm his girlfriend. We've been together for 2 years. Just call him. Ma'am, I'll need to check with Mr. Morrison before. Just call him! Building security got involved. 2 guys in suits, professional but firm. Ma'am, you need to lower your voice or we'll have to ask you to leave. Vanessa refused, started crying, saying everyone was gaslighting her, that we dated, that she had proof, that this was a conspiracy. What proof, ma'am? She pulled out her phone, showed Instagram photos through tears. The security guard looked at her screen, then at her with genuine concern. Ma'am, these photos show you with a deleted account. There's no actual person here, just a gray icon. But there was! His name is Ethan Morrison. He works here. He's a software engineer. He has 3 monitors and collects mechanical keyboards and... Ma'am, can you describe him? Tall, glasses, brown hair, wears hoodies, The security guard checked something on his iPad. I see an Ethan Morrison in our directory, but his profile says he's working remote today. Let me call upstairs. They checked with HR. I'd already given them a heads up, told them an unstable woman might show up claiming to know me, that I'd never met her, possible stalker situation based on seeing me mentioned in the building directory. HR came down. Jennifer from legal, who I'd met once at orientation. Mr. Morrison confirms he doesn't know you. He's concerned about this situation. We're going to have to ask you to leave, or we'll call the police. This is insane. We dated. Ask anyone. Ask his friend Nathan. Ma'am, we can't verify any of your claims, and Mr. Morrison has stated clearly he doesn't know you. Please leave the premises. She left, but I heard through Jade later that she sat in her car crying for over an hour. Someone almost called for a wellness check. That night, she created a fake Instagram account, seekingtruth_2024, and DM'd me. Please just tell me I'm not crazy. We dated, right? I know we did. I have memories. Dinners and trips and nights at your place. Please just confirm I'm not losing my mind. I didn't respond, but I did screenshot it and send it to Nathan with the caption, "The wish is complete." You're either a genius or a sociopath, he replied. Maybe both. Week 4, I ran into her at Mozart's Coffee. Completely coincidental. I'd been going to this place for years, long before I met her. Perfect spot for remote work with the lake view. She saw me, face lighting up with desperate relief. Actually gasped. Stood up so fast she knocked over her chair. Ethan! Thank God. Everyone's acting like we never met and I thought I was losing my mind. I looked at her with polite confusion. I'm sorry. Do I know you? Her face went pale. What? It's me, Vanessa. We dated for 2 years. I think you have me confused with someone else. No. You threw me a birthday party 3 weeks ago. She grabbed her phone, frantically trying to find evidence. Every photo showed her with a deleted account ghost. You were there! You're in these photos! I leaned in to look at her screen politely, maintaining my confused expression. That's a deleted account. I've never had Instagram. I don't really do social media. Yes, you have. I tagged you in hundreds of posts. You commented on my stories. Ma'am, I think you might need to talk to someone. This seems like a difficult situation you're dealing with, but I've never met you before. I ordered my coffee and left. Watched through the window as she collapsed into her chair, staring at her phone with absolute bewilderment, surrounded by other patrons who were now looking at her with concern. Nathan texted me from across the coffee shop. He'd been there working, had seen the whole thing. You're cold-blooded. That was brutal. She made a wish. I granted it. You're like an evil genie. I prefer wish fulfillment specialist. The final act came week 5. Vanessa sent me an actual letter. Old school, handwritten, mailed to my address. She must have remembered it from the hundreds of times she'd been there. Ethan, I know we dated. I know it was real. Everyone tells me I imagined it, that I've created false memories, that I'm having some kind of breakdown. But I couldn't have imagined 2 years. The hiking trips where you taught me about trail markers. The dinners where you'd pay, and I'd feel guilty, but you said it was fine. The nights at your place where I'd watch you work on your keyboards and wonder how anyone could care so much about switches and keycaps, but it was cute how passionate you were. I remember your friend Nathan being skeptical of me. Your neighbor Carlos who'd wave when I came over. Your doorman who I brought coffee to sometimes. Your coworker James who told terrible jokes at the Christmas party. I remember your 3-monitor setup and your gaming chair that cost $1,200, and how you'd get so focused coding that I'd have to literally tap your shoulder to get your attention. I remember Max, your neighbor's cat, who you'd feed sometimes. I remember the Ducati motorcycle poster in your hallway that you said was your dream bike someday. I couldn't have made all of that up. I couldn't have imagined 2 years of memories this detailed. I'm not crazy, Ethan. I know you're doing something to make everyone deny it, but I don't understand why. I'm sorry for what I said at my party. I was drunk and stupid and trying to sound cool in front of my friends. I didn't mean it. I never wanted you erased from my life. Please just respond. Please tell me I'm not insane. Even if you hate me, Just acknowledge we dated. I'm begging you. I'll pay you back the money. I'll apologize publicly. I'll do anything. Just please confirm I'm not losing my mind. Vanessa. I read it twice. Felt a small pang of guilt. She sounded genuinely distressed. The letter was shaking in my hands, actual tear stains on the paper. Then I remembered standing in that rooftop bar, watching her tell 50 people she wished she'd never met me, watching her friends smirk, feeling like 2 years of my life and $10,000 meant nothing to her except content and convenience. I burned the letter in my kitchen sink using a lighter, carefully collected the ashes, and sent them to her in an envelope with no return address. Just ashes and a printed note, per your wish. Nathan came over that night with beer and Chinese food. You actually sent her ashes? She wanted closure. That's closure. You're cold-blooded, man. Ice in your veins. She made a wish. I granted it. That's not cold. That's customer service. Customer service? Dude, you destroyed her sense of reality. You made her question her own memory. You turned everyone against her. You financially screwed her. I did exactly what she asked for. She wanted me erased from her life. She wished she'd never met me. She said it in front of 50 witnesses with a photographer documenting it. I just took her at her word. Nathan was quiet for a moment. You know what's scary? You're not even wrong. She did ask for this. Exactly. I'm just very thorough. 2 months after the party, Vanessa deleted her Instagram entirely. Her entire brand, gone. 40,000 followers. 2 years of content. Her whole carefully curated life, deleted. Apparently, having a years-long public record of dating someone who everyone insisted didn't exist was bad for the influencer image. Hard to maintain aspirational lifestyle content when your followers are commenting, "Girl, are you okay?" and seek help on every post. She moved back to Houston, according to Nathan, who heard from someone who heard from someone else. Started therapy, probably. Lost her marketing job after the workplace incident made her look unstable. Showing up crying, demanding coworkers confirm her ex-boyfriend's existence, having a breakdown in the conference room. Her sister called me once from a blocked number. I picked up by accident. You destroyed my sister's life. You should be ashamed. Your sister destroyed her own life with her words and choices. I just respected her wishes. She's in therapy 4 times a week. She can't sleep. She thinks she's having psychotic breaks. Mom and Dad are terrified she's going to hurt herself. She publicly humiliated me after I spent $10,000 on her birthday party. She wished she'd never met me in front of 50 people. I granted that wish. If she's having trouble with the consequences, that's not my responsibility. You're a monster. I'm a guy who took his girlfriend at her word. Maybe next time, tell your sister to be careful what she wishes for. I hung up and blocked that number too. I ran into one of her friends, Jessica, at a bar 6 months later. She'd clearly been drinking and decided to tell me what she really thought. That thing you did to Vanessa was fucked up, she slurred. Making everyone lie about you dating her? That's psychological warfare. I don't know any Vanessa, I said calmly. Bullshit! You dated her for 2 years. I was at parties with you. I was at that birthday party. I think you're confused. I've been single for 3 years. She stared at me, then at her drink, then back at me. Oh my God, you're still doing it. You actually broke her brain and you don't even care. I genuinely don't know what you're talking about. Jessica left, looking disturbed. I heard later she stopped hanging out with Vanessa too. Couldn't handle the cognitive dissonance of knowing the relationship existed while everyone else denied it. Easier to just cut ties than deal with the confusion. YouTube just dropped this new hype feature. If you're hooked on this story, smash that hype button. It tells YouTube this video deserves to blow up and it keeps even crazier stories coming your way.